You are being hacked right now as you listen to this. I'm not talking about your smartphone, your email password, or your bank account. I'm talking about you, your biology, your brain, your desires. For thousands of years, humans have mastered the world outside of us. We've built dams to stop rivers and missiles to stop armies. But we never mastered the world inside of us. And that is the terrifying premise of the book we are breaking down today. We are facing a future where algorithms know you better than your mother knows you. A future where free will becomes a luxury item. A future where the biggest threat isn't a nuclear bomb, it's your own irrelevance. If you feel anxious about the future, if you feel like the world is moving too fast to understand, you are right. But panic isn't the answer. Clarity is. This is 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. Here is the conflict that is going to define the rest of your life. For the last century, we had a story. We called it liberalism. It told us that humans have rights, that voters know best, and that the customer is always right. It told us that we matter. But technology is about to kill that story. Why? Because artificial intelligence and biotechnology are merging. When you have algorithms that can process data better than a human, and you have biotech that understands emotions better than a human, you get a deadly equation. B times C times D equals AHH. Biological knowledge multiplied by computing power multiplied by data equals the ability to hack humans. If an algorithm can monitor your blood pressure and your face muscles to know you are gay before you know you are gay, or know you are angry before you feel the rage, what happens to you? The conflict isn't humans versus robots like in the Terminator. It's much worse. It's the economy realizing that humans are no longer necessary. We are moving from a world where people were exploited, which is terrible, to a world where people are irrelevant. And trust me, it is much worse to be irrelevant than to be exploited. The danger is the rise of the useless class. People who aren't just unemployed, but unemployable. Now, stop. Take a breath. I know what you're thinking. This is sci-fi. This is 50 years away. No, it's happening now. The algorithm on YouTube already knows what keeps you watching. The GPS knows where you go. The biometric sensor on your wrist knows when your heart spikes. The book argues that we are facing 3 existential threats simultaneously: nuclear war, ecological collapse, and technological disruption. And the scary part? Our politicians are arguing about immigration and tax brackets while the house is burning down. So how do you survive? How do you prepare your kids for a world where no job is safe? We are going to break this down into the key lessons you need to survive the century. Part 1. The technological challenge. You think your job is safe because it requires creativity or human intuition? Think again. We are facing a disruption in the job market that makes the Industrial Revolution look like a tea party. In the past, machines replaced muscles. Now, they are replacing brains. We have this bias where we think human intuition is magic. Harari breaks this down cold. Intuition isn't magic, it's just pattern recognition. It's biochemical algorithms. And computers are getting really, really good at pattern recognition. If an AI can recognize patterns in legal documents better than a lawyer, or patterns in medical scans better than a doctor, those jobs disappear. Imagine a driver. For decades, driving a truck was a solid job. It put food on the table. It offered dignity. Now, imagine a self-driving truck. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't drink. It doesn't unionize. It drives 24/7. The moment the algorithm becomes safer and cheaper than the human is gone. Now, apply that to doctors. An AI doctor in your smartphone could monitor your health 24/7. Preventing heart attacks before they happen. It would be cheaper and better for everyone, except the human doctors who spent 10 years in medical school. The idea that new jobs will be created is just a hope. It's not a law of nature. And even if new jobs are created, like virtual reality designer, Can you take a 50-year-old unemployed truck driver and turn him into a VR designer in a year? Probably not. Don't specialize in a skill. Specialize in flexibility. The new job security is the ability to reinvent yourself. You won't have one career. You will have 5. But if the robots take the jobs and the algorithms make the decisions, what happens to our freedom? Part 2. Big data is watching you. We worry about Big Brother, but we should be worried about big data. Big Brother just wanted obedience. Big data wants your soul. Liberty is the story we tell ourselves. We believe we make choices. We choose our politicians, our partners, our groceries. But Harari argues that as biotech improves, algorithms will make these choices for us, and we will let them. Human decision-making is flawed. We make bad choices because we are tired, hungry, or emotional. Algorithms don't have those flaws. Eventually, you will realize that the algorithm makes better choices for you. It picks the movie you'll like. It tells you which turn to take to avoid traffic. Soon, it will tell you who to marry. Listen, Google, I like John and I like Paul. Who should I date? And Google will say, well, based on your biometric data, you are happier around Paul, even though you think you like John. And Google will be right. Imagine a world where health insurance is voluntary, but cheaper if you give them access to your biometric data. You wear a sensor. The insurance company monitors your heart rate, your sleep, your diet. If you eat a pizza, your premium goes up. If you run, it goes down. Suddenly, you are outsourcing your willpower to an algorithm. You lose the liberty to make bad choices, but you gain health. Most people will take that deal. The drama of decision-making might soon become a thing of the past. We will happily trade our freedom for convenience and health. We are creating a digital dictatorship, not by force, but by consent. Disconnect to reconnect. You must practice making decisions without the phone. Own your data. Be hyper-aware of what you are giving away. Your data is your new asset. So if technology is dismantling our individual lives, what is happening to our societies? Why is the world splitting apart just when we need to come together? Part 3. The political challenge. Nationalism. Why are we building walls when the threats we face can fly right over them? We are seeing a resurgence of nationalism. America first, Brexit, etc. People are retreating into their tribes. But Harari argues that nationalism is obsolete for the problems of the 21st century. We evolved to be tribal. We like caring for our people. It feels safe. But the 3 biggest problems we face, nuclear war, climate change, and technological disruption, do not care about borders. Imagine the atmosphere. You can build a beautiful wall on the border. You can vet every immigrant. You can tax every import. But if China or India continues to pump carbon into the air, the climate changes anyway. The drought hits your farm anyway. The flood destroys your city anyway. You cannot solve global warming on a national level. You cannot regulate artificial intelligence on a national level. If the US bans killer robots, but Russia builds them, the US loses. There is no national answer to global warming, to global inequality, or to the disruption of artificial intelligence. Your patriotism is useless against physics. Global identity. You don't have to stop loving your country, but you must add a layer of global identity. You are a citizen of Earth first, because without Earth, your nation doesn't exist. But it's hard to feel like a global citizen when you are terrified. And there is one group of people who are masters at making you terrified. Part 4. Terrorism. The fly and the bull. Terrorists are weak. They kill very few people compared to sugar, cars, or pollution. So why do they dominate the news? Terrorism is a strategy of weakness. They cannot destroy a society materially, so they try to destroy it psychologically. They hijack your imagination. Harari uses the analogy of the fly in the china shop. A fly is too weak to break a teacup. So what does it do? It finds a bull. It buzzes in the bull's ear. It bites the bull. The bull goes crazy with rage and smashes up the china shop. The terrorist is the fly. The US, or any major power, is the bull. The Middle East is the china shop. The terrorists provoked the US into invading Iraq and Afghanistan, destroying the region in the process. They used the enemy's strength against them. We are the ones funding the terror, not with money, but with attention. By overreacting, we give them exactly what they want. Stop feeding the trolls. When you see terror news, look at the statistics. Realize you are safer than ever. Refuse to be terrified. So if the news is manipulating us and the algorithms are hacking us, how do we know what is true? If you're still watching, you're probably feeling a bit overwhelmed. Technology is taking over, the planet is heating up, and your brain is being hacked. This is the point where most people check out. They retreat into post-truth. They say, well, nothing is real. It's all fake news. I'll just believe whatever makes me feel good. Do not do that. That is the trap. Giving up on truth is the ultimate surrender. The next section is about how to find solid ground in a world of quicksand. Part 5. Truth and Resilience. You think you know a lot. You don't. You suffer from the knowledge illusion. Humans think as a group. You think you understand how a zipper works or how the economy works. But if I asked you to draw a zipper and explain the mechanics, you couldn't. We rely on the knowledge of others. This makes us smart as a species, but ignorant as individuals. This tribal thinking makes us vulnerable to post-truth. We believe things not because they are true, but because they bond us to our tribe. If your tribe believes climate change is a hoax, you will believe it too, because you don't want to be kicked out of the tribe. Harari points out that Homo sapiens is a post-truth species. We conquered the world by creating fiction. Money is fiction. Nations are fiction. Corporations are fiction. Google is just a story we all agree on. The problem arises when we can't distinguish between the useful fictions, money, and the harmful lies, propaganda. You are biased. You are tribal. You are ignorant. Admitting this is the first step to intelligence. Admit ignorance. It is a superpower to say, I don't know. Fact-check your tribe. Be most skeptical of the stories that make you feel good about your own side. So we know the challenges: AI, climate, truth. How do we prepare our children? What do we teach them? Part 6. Education. The 4 C's. Most of what kids are learning in school today will be irrelevant by the time they are 40. Teaching them facts is useless. They can Google facts. We need to stop teaching information and start teaching mental flexibility. The only constant in the 21st century will be change. In the past, life was divided into 2 parts: learning, 0 to 20, and working, 20 to 65. That model is dead. In the future, you will have to reinvent yourself every 10 years. This requires immense emotional stability. The hardest challenge won't be learning C++. It will be handling the stress of not knowing who you are anymore. A 15-year-old today. By the time they are 40, the job they studied for won't exist. The political system will be different. Their gender identity might be fluid. Their body might be augmented by tech. If they cling to their old identity, they will snap. They need to be like water. To survive and flourish in such a world, you will need a lot of mental flexibility and great reserves of emotional balance. Focus on the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. Teach resilience. The ability to fail, learn, and adapt is more valuable than any degree. And this brings us to the final and most important lesson of the book: the ultimate weapon against the algorithm. Part 7. Meditation. Hack yourself. The algorithms are trying to hack you. The only way to win is to know yourself, faster than they did. Harari ends the book not with a policy proposal, but with a personal practice: meditation. This isn't about relaxation, it's about observation. The algorithm watches your data. It watches your clicks, your heart rate. It learns your patterns. If you want to retain control of your life, you need to watch your data too. You need to observe your own mind. Why do you feel angry? Why do you want to buy that car? Is it you, or is it the ad you saw? Harari practices vipassana meditation. He meditates for 2 hours a day. He argues that if you don't understand the operating system of your own mind, you are an easy puppet for Amazon, Facebook, and the government. The algorithm is watching you right now. It is watching where you go, what you buy, who you meet. It will soon know you better than you know yourself. If you don't run your own mind, someone else will run it for you. Just sit. Take 10 minutes a day to observe your breath. Observe your thoughts. Don't judge them, just see them. Know thyself. This is no longer philosophy. It is a survival strategy. Let's get real for a second. You might be watching this and thinking, okay, cool summary, and then you'll click on a cat video, or you'll scroll Instagram. If you do that, you are proving Harari right. You are letting the algorithm hack your attention. You are feeding the machine that is making you irrelevant. Stop. The world is shaking. The ground is moving. You cannot afford to be asleep at the wheel. Before we finish, we have to address the biggest question. What is the meaning of life in a world of AI? Harari argues that our old stories, religious stories, nationalist stories, even the liberal story, are crumbling. So what is left? Reality. Suffering is real. Pain is real. Love is real. When you strip away the fictions, the money, the gods, the nations, the corporate ladders, you are left with the immediate reality of consciousness. We don't need a story to give life meaning. We just need to experience reality as it is. If you want to know the truth about the universe, about the meaning of life, about your own identity, the best place to start is by observing suffering and exploring what it is. So, where does this leave us? We are standing on the edge of a cliff. Behind us is the world we knew: stable jobs, clear identities, slow change. Ahead of us is the unknown: AI overlords, climate chaos, biological hacking. You have two choices. You can panic, close your eyes, and fall. Or you can open your eyes, understand the terrain, and learn to fly. Here is your action plan for the 21st century. Accept ignorance. Stop pretending you know everything. The world is too complex. Be humble. Invest in mental flexibility. Don't just learn a skill. Learn how to learn. Disconnect. The only way to keep your sanity is to unplug from the matrix regularly. Meditate. Observe your mind before the algorithms hijack it. Join the global conversation. Don't just vote for your country. Vote for the planet. The future isn't written yet. The algorithms are writing it fast, but they haven't finished the book. You still have the pen, but you have to wake up to use it. If you want to arm yourself with the best ideas in the world, if you want to stay ahead of the curve and not get left behind by the useless class, make sure you subscribe to Audiobook Arcadia. We break down the books that build your brain. I'll see you in the future. Good luck.